route, man. I want to know, man.
Watching your team is like watching your blooper. We about to take it back to the future. Number 21, seek the freak. And number 50, the general beat. Cowboys no need to flex. Like there's Brian, I'm throwing up the X. If you a true Dallas fan, don't forget.
Denzel Washington or
this is one team that can't get cloned. This is
the
Jerry's world.
NFL
Y'all
opening
know
up the
Jerry
rules on the
Jones.
dance. What the first INT to the house gonna look like?
We the 5-time Super Bowl champs. Got rings that go blink. We the 5-time Super Bowl champs. We got rings that go bling, go blam. Watching your team is like watching the blooper. We about to take you back to the future. Number 21, seek the freak. And number 50, the general lead. Cowboys no need to flex. Like there's Brian, I'm throwing up the X. If you a true Dallas fan, don't forget. Jason Witten and the trip bets. This is one team that can't get cloned. This is Jerry's world. Y'all know Jerry Jones.
I need to know, man. Real quick. Where did this come from? Scouting, man. How are you enjoying your rookie OTL? First, how do you feel about continuing that legacy of
We the
Dallas
5-time Super Bowl champs. We got rings that go bling, go blam. Watching your team is like watching the blooper. We about to take you back to the future. Number 21, seek the freak. And number 50, the general lead. Cowboys no need to flex. Like there's Brian, I'm throwing up the X. If you a true Dallas fan, don't forget. Jason Witten and the trip bets. This is one team that can't get cloned. This is Jerry's world. Y'all know Jerry Jones.
The 2019 Dallas Cowboys season is only a few months from kicking off, but this year, let's do things a little different. Instead of just watching games at home or just going to a game, let's actually experience our Dallas Cowboys, just like West Coast does. Cowboys Experience is my one-stop shop for all my Cowboys game day weekends. Their packages are all inclusive, including 2 nights hotel accommodation. We'll pick you up and drop you off at the airport and game. Want to hang out and get autographs from current and former Cowboy greats like Drew Pearson? If you're ready to experience the Dallas Cowboys like no other, make sure you inbox West Coast or go to cowboysexperience.com today. The 2019 Dallas Cowboys season.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's that time of the year again for our annual gala. On June 8th, we will be hosting our 2019 Diamonds and Pearls Gala down in Davie, Florida. You can purchase tickets or find out more information on 88blessings.org. On top of honoring our single moms, we will also be honoring Lori from Make Our School Safe. I hope to see you all there. Much love.
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building, man. How y'all doing, man? Lunchtime hour. Yeah, we got the heavy hitters. See, y'all used to just being West Coast walking around on YouTube, but see, some of y'all don't be coming to that 4:30 show. So I said, you know what, West? You know what I'm gonna do to him, Boss Cowboy? I'm gonna bring that 4:30 to them today. At the 12 o'clock lunch hour. So yeah, man. Yeah, I got Boss Cowboy on the line. What's up with you, man? How you doing today?
Hey, what's up, West Coast, man? Feeling way better. Whew.
Shoot, I heard that, man. Whatever it is you ate, don't eat it again.
I wish it was just food pause. Now I almost would have took that over what I was just getting over. Oh my God.
That boy was in love, and did she hurt you that bad? Don't tell me she hurt you that bad, Boss Cowboy.
You know, you had a fire show Sunday, and I was listening to it and just so mad that I wasn't on there. But man, I would have been hacking, coughing, and snotting and tripping. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna mess up my voice show.
Yeah, man. Hey, but I appreciate you in the comment box, and I know you got all the love that I know you got all the love that came out, that came your way. So I mean, I'm a admin on your page, man, and I noticed that you on that day about 15 to 20 people went over and gave Boss Cowboy a like. So man, I appreciate you guys, and I know he appreciates that too. So shout out to you guys for showing him that love.
Much love, bro.
Much love. So yo, man, we about to get into this thing real quick. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all. The 4:30 show that we usually do, we used to do a whole bunch of videos, and they used to be all pretty. And we noticed that y'all, we want y'all to make sure that we all really understanding the words that are coming out of our mouth. So 4:30, we just give you that straight fire. You know how you go to the gas station, you just get your gas, get what you come to get, and you get on about your way. That's what the 4:30 show is, and that's what we bringing to y'all today at this lunch hour. So we got some whoa, I almost cussed on air. I didn't want to use my cuss word. I almost did. Because I'm reading one of y'all comments. I almost used my goddamn cuss word of the day, and we're going to be talking about backup quarterback, so I need my cuss word, so I'm going to save it. I almost did it, though. All right, so let me go through this comment box real quick. Actually, Boss Cowboy, you the one that's been gone. You the one that ain't been at work in the last 3-4 days. So how about you say hi to some folks in the comment box?
My boy Bob and Jaquel McKill Sr. Now, I'm in a couple of groups with Jaquel. Bro, when I tell you he's a diehard ride or die Dak supporter, man. Woo, I've never seen a guy go to war with people over Dak like him, man. So special shout out for riding with your quarterback. Obviously, it's not about looking at him as a favorite, but we have to counter sometimes the misconceptions that's out there, and you do a good job of it. And I see you, man. No, I didn't eat a bad taco. I got something in the air, man. I had one on summer calls. They the worst. And Dwayne, I see you, my brother. And then, man, obviously I see Kerry. So. Special shout out to all you scouts that's joining us right now for the lunchtime.
So man, let's jump in there. Let me see. I got a couple folks in here too, man. I got a couple scouts in here. A couple people that have actually decided to make that challenge, man, and support Dallas Cowboys scouting, man. Those folks that have went on, they have actually hit that shop now button, and they have become scouts. Remember, it only costs $4.99 to become a scout. That's simply a serious Cowboy fan out to uncover truth. Hey, real quick, man, we got some people over there showing us love on YouTube too. Good morning, Philly Cowboy 76. Philly Cowboy 76 won a shirt last week. I will be putting your shirt in the mail. Actually, it's right here. Actually, it's sitting right here beside me. I will be. Huh?
A Philly Cowboy fan?
Yeah, his name is Philly Cowboy 76. So I'm assuming that he's in Philadelphia somewhere. And man, you holding it down, man.
That is special shout out to you, brother.
Yeah, special shout out, man. Because my boy Akuye, man, he always be telling me how crazy it is out there, man, at them games. So I can only imagine, man. So, yeah, so like my boy Philly Cowboy said, make sure you hit that subscribe button over on YouTube, man, because remember, we do this for the likes and the love, man. But, I got my Uncle Barry on here, so shout out to Uncle Barry from Cowboys Experience. You guys already know. Y'all saw the commercial. Y'all already know what it is. I don't go to games, Boss Cowboy. We don't go to games. We experience them. If you're trying to experience them, hit me in my inbox. Let's have a private conversation, and let's get this thing going. What's up with you, my scout Kerry? What's up with your main? Kissy, how you doing? Top fan, how you doing? OG Bobby, what up with you? Tony, what up with you, man? He a supporter. What up with you, man? Dale, what up with you? Peter, hey man, Peter is like Jerry Seinfeld of the Dallas Cowboy world, bro. Like Jerry Seinfeld is one of them shows. Like if someone told you about it, it'd be like that wasn't funny. But if you just sat and watch it, you were like, this is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life, bro. Like sometimes, like he's one of the few people that's on social media that whenever he posts something about Cowboys, I always read it because he always finds a way. I ain't gonna say he tickles me, but it always finds a way to bring a laugh to me. So shout out to you, my boy Pete, man. You always be bringing. What up with you, Kerry? What up with you, Kerry, my boy Kerry, man? What up with you? We got Bob. What the heck in the building, man? Bob, what the heck? What the heck is going on today? Be nice today, Bob. We got Lauren. We got Mr. Lauren. Let Jeff Heath go. I already know. I got your shot in. There you go. Because I see with Lauren, if I don't say Jeff Heath go, he gonna put it in the comment box 15 times. So Antonio FMS, what up with you, man? Now, let me tell you something, Tony. I got cameras all in my house, right? Did you hack into my camera system and did you read what we was going to talk about this morning? Because my first subject that I have for us to talk about is these backup quarterbacks. Now, it's funny that you say that. My boy Tony. He says backup quarterback is an interesting topic. Best situation, we don't need to use them. Absolutely. Boss Cowboy, what is the state of the Dallas Cowboy backup quarterback situation right now? We have Mike White and we have Cooper Rush right now as your backup quarterback. What are your thoughts on them? And what are your thoughts? How confident are you if something was to happen or bad play or anything? What are your thoughts on the backup quarterback situation?
Well, I'm kind of in the middle about it because Cooper Rush was gang busting when he had good protection in 2000. I believe that was 17. Yeah, when he broke out. I mean, he had one of the best preseasons, pretty much. I mean, not if one of probably the best preseason of any quarterback in NFL history, preseason-wise. The only person that was above him at the time was Dak because Dak had almost a perfect passing rating in passing rating, but he also had very limited snaps. Cooper Rush had a lot of snaps, and he still was putting up very, 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 very good drives. The only thing to me that hurt him in 2018, in my opinion, and just to be honest, is we didn't have the proper protection to properly evaluate him. So, and White. So it's really a wait and see type of thing. It's like it was just because it's just unfair to really say which one is better at this point because Chaz Green was still on the team and Chaz Green was doing Chaz Green.
I think you should put $1 in the Chaz Green box every time you say his name. Anytime we say his name, I think we should just do that.
Excuse me. So I mean, I'm in the middle about it because a lot of people would say if we have to move forward with any one of those guys, knock on wood, we have an injury with Dak. Some people say the season is over. I'm not of that opinion. I'm not of that opinion at all. I think it's just really like wait and see. But we will see a good evaluation because I like our depth this time. I think we built our offensive line now to properly evaluate those guys going into preseason. And I think it's even a little bit too early to just really say I'm out or in on those guys. But I do like that right now, based on what Cooper Rush put on film in preseason, even though obviously it wasn't against starters all the time, he did put up good film during the evaluation period.
Yeah, man. What up, Buddha, man? I see you in the building, man. I didn't forget about you, man. But, yo, and Anthony, I see you too, man. Hey, I was on the Mike White train pretty tough last year. Like West Coast, I damn near had a jersey. You know what I'm saying? Because when everybody was saying Dak didn't look good at training camp, Mike White looked exceptionally good at training camp. White looked really good at training camp all the way up until they put him in the game and they was actually hitting and tackling. And the one thing I think that sucks about our backup quarterback, and you guys see, I got Dalton Storm in there too. He's no longer with the Cowboys. Remember, he didn't make it through camp. They released him like week 2. But I left that number 1 on there because Stephen Jones, they asked Stephen Jones if there was a possibility if they would bring in somebody. And he said that, one, that Dak likes a whole lot of reps. And to be honest with you, I like hearing that I like that being a problem. I like the fact that my starting quarterback likes so many reps that it makes it hard on the backup quarterback. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I like that. And to be honest with you, when you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, you get to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I like that about Dak. So the first thing Stephen Jones said is that Dak Prescott requires a lot of reps, and he likes a lot of reps. So it's hard for them to get looks for these other guys. But at the same time, the biggest issue, I think, and why I believe that we even feel this way right now is because of the misusage of the backup quarterbacks last year. One was in preseason. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I think the preseason had more to do with the offensive line being trash. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And that's just being real. Like our starting offensive line gave up 56 sacks. If we use the offensive line for the preseason, them dudes give up about 100 sacks. Now, obviously, there was no starters on it, but you really can't even say, oh, there was no starters. Because guess what happened when the starters came in? They gave up 56 sacks. So what I'm saying is our really good guys weren't really good, and the guys that were behind them were worse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, guys like, I hope Chris Redmond parents ain't watching, but we had Redmond playing. We had a lot of him playing last year, and you couldn't see anything in any preseason game from Dak. And honestly, like Boss Cowboy, it almost gives the Cowboys an excuse on why they didn't really play Dak and Zeke last year. It's because they was probably like thinking like, bro, we can't afford to lose either one of them, and most importantly, we can't protect them.
Thank you.
So if my starting, it almost, and it's like I had to kind of like check myself on the argument about, the Dallas Cowboys should have played, they should have played this guy in training camp in preseason. They should have played this guy in preseason, because what I went back and looked and I noticed is if more than 3 of the starters on the offensive line didn't play, you're starting Dak and Zeke not playing. They not playing. If more than 3 of your starting on the offensive line are not playing, they're not playing. And I'm going to be honest with you, at that time, that we didn't know Travis Frederick was going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? So, it was just that whole situation in the preseason was just bad, and it allowed us to not be able to see either quarterback. After Dak get his money, because he going to get his money, I want to see Mike White. I'm favoring Mike White over Cooper Rush. Why? Because I feel that, Mike White is under contract. Cooper Rush is not under contract. We'll have to re-sign him, so it makes more sense for us to try to trade him instead of letting a backup quarterback just walk out of him. Because if Cooper Rush walks out of our building, he's going to be on someone's backup quarterback, so you need to get something for him. You know what I'm saying? But what I would like to see in this preseason is, one, I want to see freaking Cooper Rush or Mike White start that preseason game, and then Dak Prescott play maybe 2 or 3 series in the third game. But other than that, this preseason needs to be about finding out who is going to be this backup quarterback, because, man, I already know what I got in Dak. And to be honest with you, I really don't even want to show anything new that I have in Dak. If Dak has superly improved, I don't want to show it until week 1. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's going to be hard for me to say right now. It's easy for me to say right now because in training camp and preseason, I'm going to want to see him. But realistically, if Dak has improved and he has this new itchy that he about to be letting it go with Kellen Moore, let's show it to the Giants. You know what I'm saying? But those are, and then my second thing that I was going to say with the mismanage of the backup quarterbacks is this: we value Ezekiel Elliott, Boss Cowboy, because he doesn't play in meaningless games. We need to start doing the same thing with Dak Prescott. In that Giants game last year, bro, that is a game where we could have evaluated our backup quarterbacks. Now, I know never always go for it. Hail Mary touchdown. Whoa! That's what Post Malone said. You know what I'm saying? I love the moment, too, the great catch to Beasley. But I think it would have benefited us more to play one of them backup quarterbacks at least a couple series in that dang game, man. You know what I'm saying? So we could get some evaluation. So that's just what I'm saying. Like, I think the Dallas Cowboys, to help themselves out with these backup quarterbacks, you got to find opportunity and room for them to play so you can see what you got and what you don't have.
Yeah, I want to kind of add to that point a little bit. Couple of things. Jaquez asked a good question. He said, obviously since Mike White was drafted and Cooper Rush wasn't, does that put priority to Mike White? I would say yes.
Heck yeah.
And I think the Cowboys also did as well, because the reports are from the last week OTAs is they was given the first opportunity to Mike White. So, and I think that's a situation that's going to just have to play out. But it's just kind of funny to me that they actually, to your point, West Coast, really put Dak under the duress Week 17 versus the Giants, but they was cautious with him going into the season, right?
Yeah.
So going into the playoffs, you was conservative. You was aggressive about getting your quarterback learning reps, but going into the season, they was conservative. So, and I do believe there's a benefit of teaching your quarterback under fire. So I'm coming out with a new article that's ranking quarterbacks from 2016. And guess who number one on my list is?
I would think Dak Prescott. I already know it's going to be Dak Prescott.
No, it's Watson. And the reason why I put Watson, because Watson had the most duress. And when you playing, and that's just one of the reasons. When you playing under that much duress, it's one of the best teachers going forward. Same thing with Wentz. Wentz went through his duress in 2016, but it made him better for 2017. So same thing with that. That first season didn't have the duress that he had in 2017 in the second half of the season, which made him better in 2018. So I do like the fact that they did kind of put Dak under that pressure and that fire under New York. Even though it was risky, I think it toughened it. And I think when you learn how to play under duress, that prepares you for sudden change, right? So let's say a tackle goes down, a center goes down, anybody goes down, you've been there before. So I like your thought on that, to where I do want to see those backups kind of get that same duress, and they did get the same duress training. But I was also very happy to see that Dak also got that training that, to me, is going to help him going forward.
Yeah. That's a good point. Let me jump into some of these comment. Just let me jump into these comment box. Let me hear what you guys are talking about on this subject. Kerry says that's crazy, West Coast. Tony says our drive preseason, 3 for Dak and 2 drives for Game 4. Nothing special, just getting back in the game. Speed mentality. Hey, Tony, you did make a great point. Like, to be honest, that's kind of like where I am too. I would actually rather have Dak Prescott play in that 4th game, going that 4th game, because Dak Prescott and Zeke are about momentum. It's not about them playing in week 3 and getting ready and then sitting week preseason game 4 and then starting all. That's what they do. That's what happens. If you really trying to get Zeke ready and Dak ready for the season to come in, play them in that final preseason game. Play them week 4. You know what I'm saying? And think about this. They're playing against least superior talent, too. Because you're basically playing against guys who are trying to make the team. So it's like a twofold. You're going to get a boost of confidence. Why? Because they're going to be busting all over the place. And you take that into the very next week when you play the New York Football Giants in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? But if you do it the other way, where it's like they play week 3, and then they're off a week, you got to start all that momentum back up in week 1. And my thing is this, Boss Cowboy, you said this a ton of times. Ezekiel Elliott I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Ezekiel Elliott is not fat by any means, but he has a fat man mindset. You know what I'm saying? Where it take him time to get going. You know what I'm saying? He do got a fat man mentality. And if you look at him, he's a fat dude who has to be skinny. But I'm gonna tell you right now, when Zeke done with football, I believe he's gonna be one of them dudes that blow up. You know, that's just my opinion. I think Zeke gonna be one of them Kodak Blacking around here, just nasty, but he got money, so everybody say he cute. That's how Zeke gonna be. Like, come on, y'all know Kodak Black ugly. Come on now, man, knock that off. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I think Zeke gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And my major thing about Zeke is this, man. When it's time to execute, Zeke knows how to turn that thing on and turn that thing off. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying put them boys in that week 4 preseason game. Let him turn it on and it won't turn off again. Because if you go look at Zeke's games, the worst game of his careers are the week 1 and week 2, and we always play the Giants. Yep. So it's not the team that we're playing; it's him.
Yep. Yeah. If anybody really noticed the pattern on Zeke starts slow.
He does. It takes him 3 weeks to get going.
So, like, to your point, we should use preseason, especially with a suspension loom. Like,
oh my God! Why you bring that up?
Honest, man, and especially because we've been talking about this. We expecting it. I said 20%, nothing happens. 80%, he gets suspended for something. But that's even more important that you give him more reps in preseason, to be honest, because he starts slow.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want him to come back week 3 and then have his normal slower game 1, slower game 2, and then start to emerge by game 3 and game 4. We want to kind of give him his reps early. That way he has some kind of rhythm because he just starts slow. Everybody knows that to this point. He starts slow because every year they question him. Year one, they said he was a bust after the Giants game.
He got benched week. People remember only I hate when you said, but he did. It's fact. They benched him in the halfway.
Week two. People forget that he got benched week 2, his rookie year for Morris.
For Alfred Morris.
My God. And then, obviously in 2017, they was even questioning: is he slower? Is he fat? Is he out of shape? Just some people, you got to learn your athletes. Some people get going late. And some people use the season to get going, and that's how Zeke is. If you question Zeke last year, everybody questioned him early, but by mid-season, Zeke was, he was Zeke.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer that, I definitely see and foresee a suspension coming. But my boy Nick Reed said it best. Cool. Like, let's accept it. Let's go ahead and just get ready for it. And I'm not going to cry about it. I want us to be just like New England when it happened to Brady. They started off 4-0 even without Brady, and they said, hey, we still got to win. They didn't cry. They just made a game plan, and they went at it.
Yeah, and they lost in the first round of playoffs.
They did that year?
Yeah, they did.
They won the Super Bowl that year.
The year that I'm talking about the year that Matt Castle was starting quarterback because Brady went down.
That year. I'm talking about the year that Brady went through that
suspension. But the thing about this is I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? And this is what I've always said about Tom Brady and suspensions, bro. When you're older, playing less games does not hurt you.
Yeah.
That does not hurt. Tom Brady, and then think about this. Tom Brady also knows that he's going to play in 3 games that most teams are not going to play in. What is that? The first round of playoffs, the AFC Championship, and the Super Bowl. So technically, he still played 15 games that season.
Yeah.
Because he got suspended.
It helped him to your point.
Yeah, it helped him because he didn't have to play the first 4 games of the season.
Yeah, to be older, and then Belichick with at that time. It was Jimmy, and then I forgot the quarterback.
Brissett. It was from out of North Carolina.
They still started off hot.
Jacoby Brissett. I liked him too.
Yeah, so it's I know with this news coming out that Goodell is looking into it. We all knew that was going to happen anyway. Why we acting surprised?
That's the same thing. Like, come on now,
talking about it, but do we really have to talk about it? We knew that was going to happen.
Yep. And that's the same thing I was saying, like, when people were trying to be, like, naive, like, oh, nothing is going to happen. No, that's not what we do here. That's not what we do here. And at the same time, we're not going to sell ourselves on false hope and saying, because I hear, as soon as Zeke got the thought of him getting suspended, I start hearing this new narrative. Pollard and Weber can handle it. They'll be able to handle it. Bro, are you kidding me? Zeke has been the number 2 lead rusher in the NFL. Not on the Dallas Cowboys, on the NFL. If Zeke gets suspended, the Dallas Cowboys are going to bring another running back in here. They're not going to put an entire offense on 2 rookies, one being in the 4th and one being in the 6th. So I mean, don't. And then the thing about Weber is smaller than Zeke. Now Pollard, I think he is definitely going to be used as a weapon, but he is not the main gun on the battleship. Ezekiel Elliott is the main gun on the battleship. You know what I'm saying? So don't disrespect my boy Zeke and just be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna grab two rookies out of the draft and they're just gonna come in and just take it. That's just not how it works. Has it happened?
With us, you can say that with some teams.
Yeah, if that's that, why didn't Joseph Randle work out then? Like
a team you can say that with would be a New England.
Yep.
A Rams. A Kansas City.
Yep.
You know they great schemers. They great play callers.
It's more on the coaching than anything.
Yet. We don't know. We just don't know. So I'm with you on that, West Coast, where I'm optimistic, but I want to be realistic.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why in my opinion, the thought of the backup quarterback because of the scheme and stuff, I think it's going to come a lot down to Kellen Moore because you would think that Kellen, because if you look at him, we have 2 backup quarterbacks that are totally different types of quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? You would think that Mike White would be the ideal candidate. Why? Because he is more like your starter than either quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He's more of an outside of the pocket. Like, Mike White is a get outside the pocket and move and work. That's the type of quarterback he is. Where Cooper Rush is more of a stand in the pocket. So if you're building a scheme around something, it will be from. And to be honest with you, that's why Cooper Rush was so good in that offense in that preseason, because he had a pretty decent offensive line, and he was standing in the pocket, and he was letting that thing go. And guess who he was throwing the ball to? Out of all tight ends, guess who he was throwing the ball to? When Cooper Rush was looking great and looking like the best backup quarterback of all time. Guess who he was throwing the ball to, Boss Cowboy? Rico Gathers. That's who he was throwing the ball to.
Think about it, man.
Huh?
You didn't give me a chance to think about it. I want to take a stab at it.
My bad. Yeah, he was throwing to Rico Gathers. He threw those touchdowns to the Rico Gathers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I would think that White would be the guy, man. But my biggest hope is this, that the Dallas Cowboys are smart about how they handle this backup quarterback situation, and that in this preseason they use these games to evaluate who, because this year we cannot afford to carry 3 quarterbacks, man. Like, there's no reason paying Dak $30 million. There's no reason to have 3 quarterbacks at all.
Agreed. And I want to add one more thing about the Zeke thing, because obviously we have conflicting opinions with the fan base sometimes on who pretty much is the face of this team and who really makes this team go. I'm not really debating that. What I'm going to say is I think it still could work for us even if Zeke is suspended, because in my opinion, everybody don't have to agree with this, but I think that our offense is a little bit too dependent on Zeke to where we don't adapt enough and lean on Dak enough. Because certain games you're going to have to lean on Dak, because certain teams are built for us, like the Redskins. And if you go into the Redskins thinking you're going to run into all those first rounders and killers on their front to win that game, that's going to be a hard game. So some games you're going to have to lean on Dak because of the matchups.
Yeah, but you got to remember, when you're leaning against something, you're leaning on something. So we can lean on Dak as long as when we lean, Zeke is that guy that we follow. Is that wall that we're actually leaning on.
My prayer is this, West Coast. Just like they tested Dak week 17 against the Giants without Zeke and without his offensive line, and they said, see if you can win it for us, and he did. If he can pull us out of this suspension, then that should give the coaches confidence that we can be more adaptable. Because I always feel like the Cowboys need to.
I get what you're saying. It's a come up. I get what you're saying. It's a come up. It's a super come up, because then when he comes back, you have more now. Instead of him being your foundation, instead of him being the cake, he's the icing now. And that's where you really want Zeke to be. Because
that's what you want Zeke to be, is the icing.
Because he was the icing. He was the
We'll just pound you.
Yeah.
If we respect your front, we trust that to also kill you from passing. And if we're an adaptable team, we're even scarier. So we can look at this from glass half empty or glass half full. It's still going to remain to be seen, but it could still work for us.
Yeah, but my thing is, maybe we should just adjust the way we say it, because we always say we are predictable because of Zeke. We're not predictable because of Zeke. Zeke is a player. Zeke gets paid to do what he's told to do. We were predictable because the coach kept calling the same play. That's not Zeke Elliott's fault. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I hate when this narrative, we're just so predictable. You know, the Cowboys are not good because everybody knows that they're going to be running the ball. Well, guess what? That's not Zeke's fault. Like, that's the offensive coordinator's fault. Like, is it the X button's fault that we keep hitting it? No, that's their fault. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. And my problem. My thing is this: I've never heard of an offensive coordinator having a problem with having too many weapons. The only team I've ever had that's had too many weapons on offense is Pittsburgh Steelers. And what happened? Attitude. The Dallas Cowboys are in a perfect storm where we actually have too many weapons. You have too many weapons. So what it really comes down to is Kellen Moore. Can you make sure that there's enough balls to go around so that everybody's effective and we're not too obvious? Because guess what? You could really say that the Kansas City Chiefs are too obvious. Why? Because they throw the ball 43 times a game. They only run freaking like 60. We only run 65 offensive plays a game on average. They throw the ball 40 times. You pretty much know what they're going to do. But guess what? Nobody seems to have a problem with it. You want to know why? Because it freaking works. And nobody had a problem with it in 2016, where we ran on 83% of the times on first downs. So a lot of people wondering, why do we work on first? Why do we run so much on first down? You want to know why? Because we did it every single first down in 2016, and every single first down, it worked. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? Being predictable is okay when you're effective. Like Floyd Mayweather's pretty damn predictable, and guess what? He's really effective.
And you still can't beat him.
You still can't beat him.
But Kellen Moore definitely got big boy shoes.
He absolutely got big boy shoes. So we actually got another. Speaking of, we gonna stay on this coaching train, man. We gonna talk about another coach. It's gonna be our last subject before we get up out of here. But we actually got this another coach we want to talk about right when we get back from this commercial break. The 2019 Dallas Cowboys season is only a few months from kicking off, but this year, let's do things a little different. Instead of just watching games at home or just going to a game, let's actually experience our Dallas Cowboys, just like West Coast does. Cowboys Experience is my one-stop shop for all my Cowboys game day weekends. Their packages are all inclusive, including 2 nights hotel accommodation. We'll pick you up and drop you off at the airport and game. Want to hang out and get autographs from current and former Cowboy greats like Drew Pearson? If you're ready to experience the Dallas Cowboys like no other, make sure you inbox West Coast or go to cowboysexperience.com today. The 2019 Dallas Cowboys season is... What's up with you guys? So we back up in the piece. So I told you guys we were going to be talking about another coach that gets a lot of attention here in Dallas, and that is, I said here in Dallas. I'm here in California, but you guys, where you guys are in Dallas, is one Mr.
You're actually right, man, because, Dallas Cowboys is worldwide, so we there too, brother.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Well, but this is another coach that I think he gets a lot of attention. He had a lot of expectation coming in here last year, too, and honestly, this is my thing. I'm gonna make a statement right here, and I'll see if you can agree with me. If Kellen Moore can have the same effect that Chris Richard had on the defense, on the offense, Kellen Moore will be looked at as a god.
Yeah.
Okay. If Kellen Moore can have the same effect that Chris Richard had on the defense, bruh, you guys will worship the ground he works on. You want to know why? Because your offense is going to be scoring like 40 points, man. Now, Chris Richard, man, what are your thoughts on him and what he has done to these DBs, man? I'm looking at these guys right here. You got Byron Jones, you got Chidobe Awuzie, you got Anthony Brown, you got Jordan Lewis, you got Michael Jackson, C.J. Goodwin. Let me move my little face up here. You got Chris Westerly. He wears number 37 too, if I'm not mistaken. You got Tristan Dicard, and you got Donovan Alumba from last. Remember Donovan Alumba from last year?
Well,
now, when you look at this? When you first look at this, what is your first thoughts? What are your first thoughts when you first look at this? I'm trying to find a good spot.
Before I dig into that, I do want to ask everybody to stop and share, because obviously we grow as you help grow us. So just take a minute real quick and just go down to your bottom left, hit that share button, and share with your diehard Cowboy fans and share with the group. But when I look at this list, it shows you and shows me, and pretty much what everybody knows, is that Chris loves longer corners. I actually played for a coach who had this exact same philosophy, who's the current secondary coach for the Buffalo Bills. But it's one thing that I think a lot of us kind of pigeonhole ourselves into an opinion that I don't think is really true about Chris Richard, because a lot of people we've been looking at the battle, especially between Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis, and people say, well, Jordan Lewis is not starting because Chris prefers long corners. I'm so glad you have this up, because I actually researched it too, West Coast, and I never talked to you about this. Are you telling me 1 inch on height is making a difference in terms of who's supposed to play the nickel?
Nah, but his hands, Jordan Lewis has longer arms, though.
Exactly. So some of the assumptions that we put out there in the public just don't fit, right? So it has to be another reason. I don't know what the reason is why Jordan Lewis is in purgatory. Because if you really look at the real details of Anthony Brown's performance compared to the whole secondary, he is absolutely and easily the weakest link in our secondary. He plays a better nickel than he did the outside corner, but even at the nickel, he is not what Jordan Lewis is. But this list clearly shows a preference to longer corners. And it gives us hope, especially with the new additions with freakish Chris Westry and then obviously Michael Jackson, that we getting ready to get really, really good, especially with these new guys. Because competition has greatly ranked up in the nickel position and the corner position, possibly even in the safety position, because Michael Jackson is flexible. I mean, he can low key, in my opinion, even push for a starting safety job, because he's the guy, Michael Jackson specifically speaking, is the guy that I think is going to rock the crowd. And like what we always say on this show, if you win the crowd, you win your freedom. He has a nasty dog mind state. He turns around and looks for the ball. He grabbed that turnover chain a lot at Miami. I think it's getting ready to be a great war in the secondary that's going to greatly improve our secondary.
Yeah, man. I'm in total agreement, man. One thing I also see is consistency, man. You have Byron Jones, 6 foot, Cheeto, 6 foot, Anthony Brown, your slots, your typical guys, your slots, more quickly and shiftly. I will say this about Anthony Brown is he is technically, well, I'd like to see him and Pollard get out there and race. That would be a good run, I ain't gonna lie. But because Anthony Brown was supposedly had to be the fastest person on his football team, but I would definitely love to see him and Pollard get out there and race. Jordan Lewis at 5'10", Michael Jackson at 6'1", C.J. Goodwin at 6'3", Chris Westerly at Westerly at 6'4", Trenton at 6'2", and Alumba, aka baby Richard Sherman, because he looks exactly like him when he's out there playing. At 6'2". I mean, it makes 100%. It makes sense, man, because it's like this, man. If you look at the most quarterbacks right now, man, a good quarterback completion rate is like in the high 60s. You know what I'm saying? That means an average quarterback is like an average or not a good quarterback is in the 58s and 60 in the low 60s. That means 60% of the passes that you throw aren't even damn near that DBs are getting thrown at aren't even catchable balls. You know what I'm saying? So now you have technically 2 wide receivers going up to get a ball. The reason why I say 2 wide receivers is because, bruh, a 6'0", 205 pounds, that's a wide receiver. 6'4", 199 pounds, that is a wide receiver. 6'2", 205 pounds, that is a wide receiver who plays corner. And now you have 2. You have a wide receiver and a corner both going up and getting that ball, man. So, it 100% makes sense, man. Because, a lot of these quarterbacks are throwing bad balls, so it's like your radius of where you can cover is just so much bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it makes those windows that much tighter. And I love that we have a lot of people to work with for Chris Richard. Because you made a good point a long time ago that most people don't even bring up, is what's the contingency plan if Chris goes? Because we know he's coveted. We know he's coveted. His resume is way too good, because think of it like this. If you know I can pay this coach $20 million to possibly make me $50 to $60 million corners, that's too good of a deal. That is just too good of a deal that if you're an NFL team, you cannot pass that up. Because what it's saying is you can give this guy the right raw traits, and he can make you, for the most part, a potential all-pro. And his resume at this point is building that he does it consistently. Yeah, you can doubt it when he had the Legion of Boom, but he didn't stop there. It didn't stop there. It kept going. They kept drafting, and then like Byron Jones, people forget that Byron Jones was on bust alert before Chris put his hands on him. So So you raised a good point that we have to raise these guys up and get all of these guys coached up, anticipating Chris to not be with us. Because either Chris is going to end up being our head coach or he's going to be somebody else's head coach. But we got to have these talents ready to go when he leaves or if he leaves. And it also does a good thing for Byron Jones. Because even though Byron Jones is a Pro Bowl, even though it's obvious that he covers well, he's super lax still on ball takeaways. So when you see this much competition and you see this much people that's actually raw like you, aren't you gonna go into the season trying to make those plays that you didn't make the year before?
Absolutely, you're gonna have to, because the thing about it is like this. You know, it's hard to measure good coverage if they're not catching the ball. So it's like if you put any corner out there and they're displaying good coverage, you're going to get credit for that. When you start getting good coverage and turnovers, that's going to be an issue for Byron Jones. And another thing I like about this too is that hip surgery that he had is going to make sure that he gets back exponentially to make sure that he's able to get back and be able to compete for a spot. Because one thing about Chris Richard, man, is that he gonna let them boys compete. And think about this. This is the first real year of him being able to do what he wants to do with guys that he wants to bring in. So I definitely feel that Chris Richard, and think about this, man. Chris Richard made a very powerful statement when he said, when he supported Rob Marinelli in the picking of Tristan Hill, when he said that he was okay with the pick because, you know, he understands how a big fat daddy defensive lineman in the front right there will help his DBs play better. Now, a lot of people are misquoting what he's saying. A lot of people are taking that quote and they're saying that Chris Richard said, no, don't pick a safety because if we get, no, that's not what he said. That's not how it was perplexed. You know what I'm saying? A man is always going to look after his job first. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to go into your job and be like, oh, yeah, give this person all the needs that he can use so that he can succeed while I just, keep on trying to make it. No, nobody's going to do that with their job. Exactly. What he was doing is he was solidifying and giving them background on why he supported the pick, not why he picked it. He's not even a defensive line coach. So my question is this, how would a DB coach even know that Tristan Hill is so much better than all the DBs that he has? That doesn't make any sense. You get what I'm saying? Like, when he's going into the draft, he's looking at DBs. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's not looking at defensive lines.
Totally, bro.
Like, he's looking at DBs. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys got to pay attention. You got to kind of pay attention. And not even just pay attention, man. You got to use a little filter some of this stuff through common sense. Like, I think some of y'all be thinking these people are like popes. Like, oh, I will do whatever I must do for the Cowboy Nation. I am worth $30 million. I will take 15 No, what are y'all talking about, man? Like, you gotta filter some of this stuff through just sheer reason. You know what I'm saying? The reason why he said that is he was giving information. He was giving facts on after why he supported the pick, not why he picked them. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense. It's the exact same thing that Ray Lewis said about Tony Saragusa. He said that, yo, man, his first couple years in the NFL, he was getting killed. Ray Lewis said this. He said he was getting killed by big guards and fullbacks. You know what I'm saying? And said what he did is he went to management and he told management that, yo, I will play better. He said, I'm playing dirty. His exact words were, I'm playing dirty. You know what I'm saying? Basically meaning like I'm always having an offensive lineman in my face. I'm always having a fullback in my face. Get me a fat defensive lineman, put him in front of me, and he'll stop all that. And then guess what? I can play clean and move around and be more of a rover, like an actual linebacker. You know what I'm saying? And that's called playing clean. So, I mean, I can 100% how he could say that. Like, yo, I mean, the defensive line is already good. I mean, if you're not gonna pick to be honest with you, I think the Dallas Cowboys went into the draft knowing that they were gonna pick a defensive lineman, and that's why they sold us on safety so much. Just being real. When you don't pick come on, man. That's just my opinion. I believe that they were sold up.
No, I'm gonna ride with you on that one. And let me give you the evidence of it. I'm a big pattern person. And that's one of the biggest ways to me to also really interpret tea leaves. Because that's what West Coast does, that's what I do. And I've learned this from watching the pattern. Number one, Dallas does not go with best player available. Don't ever believe that in your life. Because what they try to say, if you think about it, it still makes no sense.
Yeah.
Is that we go with best player available according to need. No.
Then you're going by need then.
You're going by need.
Then you're going by need then. You're not going by best player available.
You're not going by best player available. So let's just stop and think about it, and just so we can stop falling for the okie doke. So the pattern I notice is this, West Coast, is the Cowboys tell half-truths. They will identify their top needs, but the one that they emphasize the most is not the one that they're prioritizing the most. Let's just look at the pattern. What did they do in 2017? They rolled out and had a big campaign and had Jason Garrett going out to go look at Sutton and all that at SMU, right? They really just put it out there that receivers exponentially important. The entire time they knew that they was targeting who? LVE.
LVE.
Right? So both of them was a need, but it was the one they focused on that was the smoke screen.
Yeah.
They did the exact same thing to us in 2019. They put up, they had Gil Bryant come out and say, if you're looking for a safety, this is the one.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
They don't fake the hell out of it.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
They had Gil Bryant. They talked, Stephen Jones came out multiple times and talked about how they need a safety that's going to be a ball hawk. They had everybody pretty much pump fake that we was getting ready to go with safety. That never was a priority to them. Never. Because they not only passed on safety at pick 58, they passed on it in round 3 and round 4. Because I still remember who was available round 3 and round 4. It was still super good safeties available round 3 and round 4, even safeties that was in the 30 visits.
Yeah.
And look at the major pump fake that they did on the 30 visits. Who was the biggest list on 30 visits, West Coast?
Thornhill.
No, I'm just in general out of position.
I'm thinking safety. That's why I said
They
Thornhill.
were safety. They had 7 safeties.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You're asking what number. Yeah, absolutely. They had 7 safety. They had 7 safeties.
7 safeties come in, so they it's a half truth. So they made it, and you can't fault the
And they protected the offensive lines, too, because they didn't bring a whole lot of offensive linemen in.
Yeah, and they have to do that to a degree. We can't fault them. We just got to get better at reading the tea leaves. Because if they were super honest, a team will pull a Dallas Goedert on us every year, right?
Yeah.
We really made our full intentions known in the public and didn't have any kind of camouflages. We cannot show the whole other 31 teams what our priority is. So what the Dallas Cowboys do is they have 2 teams, 2 needs that they looking at, but what they really do is they emphasize one, but they really getting ready to go after the other. So going in the future, I'm just going to be smarter. When I see them rolling out a new Gil Bryant strategy, or if I see a visit and I see if I see 9 linebackers on their need list next year in the draft, but I see 5 receivers, I'm going to say receiver, they top 4.
Yeah, think about this. They used Gil Bryant. They used Gil Bryant twice last year because remember they used him for that, and then there was another time before the draft that he came out and they had this big announcement, and it was that Gil Bryant was going into the Ring of Honor. Remember that? And we all thought that they're going to announce Dez Bryant was coming back. You know what I'm saying? We was like, he's coming back. He's coming back. And no, Gil Bryant is going into the Ring of Honor, and it's sit your narrow tail down somewhere, Gil.
We got to be better at reading the body language. It's high stake folks, but but now I'm better at reading the body language. When they say Dallas is set up for best player available, I'll never believe it again. I'm gonna only look at the needs, and when they say the next time, we're really prioritizing whatever next year's need is. Let's say if it's safety.
Yes, no, I hope it's not. I hope it's not safety.
I'm not gonna believe it. I'm gonna sit back. Okay, no, that's not the top need.
Yeah, I hope it's not. I hope safety's not their need next year.
I hope it's not. Lord, don't let it be. Because if safety is our need next year, that means and Antoine Woods was not who you guys thought he was, and West Coast was right. No offense, but that's what that means. That also means that Jeff Heath, whatever faith that we have, it declined because Jeff Heath should be better next year. Because Jeff Heath has technically got better. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because Jeff Heath and Anthony Brown, they were allowed to get better on national TV, where everybody else had to get better, on practice. You know what I'm saying? Like most people make their mistakes on practice, then they go play better on national TV. Where these guys, they got to make mistakes on national TV and keep coming back. You know what I'm saying? And Jeff Heath said a statement that I ain't never knew Jeff Heath even talk like that, because I didn't talk to him 3 times. I've interviewed him 3 times, and I think both interviews was a total of like 40 words. I asked Jeff Heath, hey Jeff, what was you thinking on the Raiders game when you ran across the line? I wasn't. I was just trying to get there. Now Jeff Heath he on Twitter talking about, man, now Jeff Heath on there, he on here listening to Nipsey Hussle, man, talking about, man, I don't give a damn. I've been here, starting from the bottom, now I'm here. I wish you would try to come take me up out my spot. So I'm just saying, hey, Jeff Heath got a little fire up on him, man. He tired of y'all talking crap about Jeff Heath. Because Jeff Heath said, I've been here. And he basically said, I've been here and I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? They hate on me every single year, and I'm here every single year. Y'all better leave Jeff Heath alone, man. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying?
Cheap plug by me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Cheap plug.
Go ahead, shoot it.
Cheap plug. I got 3 articles coming up this week. One of them is going to actually be dealing with what I still think is our top need, and that's unfilled to me right now still. A red zone weapon. I'm anticipating that next year is going to be the year that we have to give Dak a weapon with a new car smell. I think that's just going to be our top need, because when you look at the effect of Cooper was exponentially effective between the 20s. Where the fall off was, which you can say was play calling, you can say it was Dak, you can say it was execution, you can say whatever you want. But it was obvious that the fall off was in the red zone. And so I heard a analyst say, and I think it's one of the smartest things I've ever heard, that when you're trying to get a basketball team, a receiving group, you have to recruit it as if it's a basketball team. So I think that's going to be that's going to kind of be what one of my articles is about. Another thing that I want y'all to be on the lookout for is what I'm going to drop today. And the 3 lessons to learn from Scott Linehan's, and it's not X's and O's. When I tell you, to me it's fire, to me it's the best one I've ever written. And then be on the lookout for my last article, which should be at the end of this week, and it's where I'm going to rank the quarterbacks from 2016. It's going to have some surprises on it too, but I'm going to break it down.
I'm reading some of these comments. Jacquez says, Marcus, he says, facts, I think they try to keep the rest of the NFL guessing also. That's a good point with the Cowboys. But something else you can do is just keep your mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's so true, bro.
Like, you don't have to keep anybody guessing. You could just keep your mouth closed like the other 31 other teams do. Like,
Man.
Like Jerry Jones, like, why are you throwing, like, don't throw your own fan base off, because we're the only ones that really care about stuff like that. So it's like, you're not really throwing the other NFL off because you've been in meetings with them. Like, you got to think, up to that point, they've been in meetings together, NFL meetings for like months, 2-3 weeks and months and stuff. So it's like the only people that they're really throwing off is, you trying to throw off me and Boss Cowboy? Like, bro, we working with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just keep your mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? The Browns don't tell us.
That's so good of a good point. See, but let me push back a little bit on that point. I think that's also where Jerry and Steven understand the business, and that they know that basically controversy
sells. Because we the only one being talked about in May.
They go smoke screen us. The rest of the team's going to keep it more business to it. Man, that's an excellent point, brother. The rest of the team's going to keep it more business and just say, hey, look, our job is to just keep our players in the wraps.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry and Steven try to play it both ways, to where they say, we think we're smart enough to throw out all kind of clues to keep everybody in our base and all 31 teams guessing, and it keeps people talking, and it makes us money.
Mm-hmm. Because remember, the Dallas Cowboys do not participate in profit sharing, so all those NFL commercials, we don't get none of that money. You know what I'm saying? That's why when the Bud Light commercial would be 31 teams, you'd be like, did I not see the Cowboys? No, you did not see the Cowboys logo on there. All right, Marquis says, Jeff, he say he the only one that gets picks. Kerry says he's looking forward to the article. Starboy says that Jeff Heath is in my song. Jaquez says he thinks Rico and Gallup can be our red zone targets. Gallup can get up and catch those jump balls. I agree with that. But hey, just to say something on
Let's say Jeff Heath in his song. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, hey, I was gonna say, but you know what? I think the Cowboys could have gotten Dak Prescott a new weapon with that. I mean, they are hailing to that boy Pollard as that new cat smell. I say cat smell. I just saw the cat in the comment box. That new car smell. Matthew, you threw me off. That new car smell with Pollard, man. And you know the Cowboys, man, they like to heap a whole lot of steam on players that ain't never played in the NFL. So I'm hoping that if Pollard can just live up to half the stuff the Cowboys saying they gonna do, man, we gonna have a monster on our hands. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and and going forward, as I release these articles, the people that's been on this show, obviously West Coast trusts me because he trusts me to actually discuss Cowboy stuff with y'all. I don't take that lightly at all, too. But share the stuff. The only way we gonna kind of get good ideas out there is to share. Share the show, share the articles, share West Coast videos, because it's not just about growing. Obviously, we want to grow, but we want good information out there. You know, we want the information out there that's going to help the Cowboys. We don't want bad information out there. So we put in a lot of work out on the show to try to give, you know, people like the listeners great information. I mean, we do a lot of research, man. So share this stuff, share the show, support, put some money in it. Because that's how we go get the word out and just grow the social media voice. We the future of social media. Help us grow.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate everything that y'all have, that y'all continue to do and bring. You know what I'm saying? Because like my boy Cowboy Joe Boo always say, without y'all, this does not even exist. And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first used to hear it, I'd be like, that's a good little saying. But then I started thinking about it, like, man, that really is that mess is true in the mug. Like, you know, you guys are the catalyst of why we do this. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm gonna keep it real. There be so many times when I don't do a show and I know I'm supposed to be doing a show, like I literally be feeling like I'm up here cheating on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I be feeling like I'm cheating on y'all. But yo, before we get up out of here, man, we gonna leave on this note, man. It's my boy Starboy, his new song.
That's the boy Starboy, man.
That boy Starboy, man.
Man, y'all go support Starboy. I saw him on the show. That boy say he did everything, man. That boy got the everything.
Got that clock in deep. Yeah.
That boy said it's time to go to work, man. Yeah, y'all support that boy, man. Go put some money in his pocket, man. We going on social media. We're so happy for y'all.
Hey, y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all about to hear this on our intro too, man. I'm just trying to see if he'll let me do it for free. You know these entertainers is too. Hey! Hey, y'all already know what it is, man. Hey, Boss Cowboy. Hey, Boss Cowboy, let them know where they can find you at, man. Let them know where they can find you at, Boss Cowboy.
Yeah, man. Go to my page, Boss Cowboy Sports on Facebook, but getting ready to be doing Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of it. We expanding. We have to.
That boy said LinkedIn.
Get the word out as we expand. YouTube, we doing all.
That boy said LinkedIn. Yes, we are on your LinkedIn profile.
LinkedIn too.
That boy said we are in your LinkedIn. While you at work, we can snoop over and listen to some Cowboy football. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. You already know what it is, man. I'm your boy, West Coast. Make sure you guys show the content, share the content. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. You already know what it is. Never look down because the stars up. Hey.